Am I the asshole for letting my parents make my stepsister clean my room and do my laundry? So literally as the title says, my bio mom wants my 21M little stepsister, 15F, to help out around the house more. While she does do more chores, I'm also a college student and have more responsibilities. I'm networking and building my future career. If needed I could help out, but my mom says this is good character building for my stepsister. All she has to do is come in and clean, vacuum my room twice a week and take care of my laundry for me. If she completes these chores by Friday she can hang out with friends. This is pretty minor since I'm a clean guy, but I was talking to my girlfriend about the arrangement and she was taken aback and thought I was an asshole for letting her do those chores for me. I get that I could do them myself, but my mom insists she does them and my stepdad is fine with it. And I think it's probably a good thing for her to learn responsibility and helping out around the house. She does some dishes and cleaning other parts of the house on top of this, but it's nothing major really. AITA. Edit 1. I should have explained this better. Both my mom and stepdad think she should do more housework. Part of my reasoning is that if she isn't cleaning my room she might end up just doing a different chore that could be even more time-consuming, so it's kind of a win-win. Edit 2. I'm debating whether to ask her to stop doing my room and letting my mom assign her another part of the house, such as the garage, or giving her a reward each week for helping me so it's more of a win-win. I was thinking every 2 weeks she gives me a shopping list and I'll buy something $100. What are your thoughts on this? What is the best thing for me to do? Edit 3. Because if she's not cleaning my room, she'll be given other chores. I have to think of an alternative way to help her. My plan is to hide dollar bills in my laundry so it's a reward for her, and to take her shopping now and then as a treat and a thank you and to show her that I'm on her side. I will also help her more with homework and advice. How does this sound to you guys? Any better ideas? This sounds like the best win-win. Edit 4. She has to do more chores because she has bad behavior in the past and has thus been given a bigger workload for the foreseeable future. If there's improvement by Christmas I think her workload will decrease and I will advocate when that conversation happens. Edit 5. Some people have pointed out that my parents' harsh style on her could be doing more harm than good. In light of this I am going to try and be there more for her to talk to, and I am going to tell her she can always chill in my room or ask for favors from me. I am going to try and step up and be a good figure she can trust in. Thank you for all the practical advice. I'm going to talk to her tonight and I'll let you guys know how it goes. Update. I talked to my stepsister this morning about the situation. She said it's nice because of the following. I keep my room pretty clean so it only takes 15 minutes, while my mom thinks it takes 1.5 hours plus. She also said doing my laundry isn't that bad because she does it in the same load as hers, so the only real-time commitment is folding it. The alternative to cleaning my room would likely be cleaning the garage, which would take much more time. She said she prefers cleaning my room over the garage. I told her I empathize with her situation and want to help her out. From now on, I'm going to give her some money each week to spend with friends. Then, every now and then I will take her and her friends to the movies, fairs, to dinner, and I will cover their tabs. She got extremely excited at this and gave me a big hug and texted her friends, so I think she's happy. I figured taking her out to a treat, and turning the threat of punishment, no seeing friends, into a reward is a good way to subvert my mom. Reddit, did I do good? You are the asshole. A college student and networking doesn't excuse you from keeping up your living place. Your mom is the asshole too. Just wait till you're busy as all hell working long hours building your life and you don't have a clean house to come home to because you didn't clean it. That poor girl doesn't deserve to clean up after you like a slave. You are the asshole. Holy shit. Your stepsister should not be treated like your damn maid. Doing dishes, sweeping, vacuuming common areas and her cleaning her own room and doing her own laundry is one thing. But JFC, no, she should not be going into your room and doing your laundry. You're a damn adult and should do it yourself. Have more responsibilities. I'm networking and building my future career. Bawahahahahahahaha. You are the asshole. She isn't your servant. Cleaning your room twice a week? Doing your laundry? All to get clearance to hang out with her friends? Disgusting, sexist and absolutely unacceptable. You are the asshole. So is your mom. They're treating her like Cinderella. One thing to help around the house, totally different to be forced to clean your space too. And I think it's probably a good thing for her to learn responsibility and helping out around the house. Did you ever learn this? You are the asshole and your mother is too. Why is your little sister cleaning your room? Because she is a girl? Do you do chores in the household? You are the asshole. You really think you should get a personal, live-in maid that is unpaid and forced to clean up your stuff on the threat of not having a social life? And you're okay with this? Why can't you have some character building and clean up after yourself? Learn how to do that before you move out, so you don't start expecting every woman in your life to clean up after you. You are the asshole and so are your parents. This is some Cinderella shit. YTA. A sexist evil stepbrother. That's a twist the classic Cinderella story didn't need. Am I the asshole for yelling at a dentist? Am I the asshole for yelling at my dentist? Basically, he was refusing to give me the correct medication. I have had many teeth pulled and have never had an issue getting codone. Just the small dose. Nothing else works on me. I hate Oxy and Tylenol 3 gives me huge headaches. And I informed him of this on our first visit so I didn't expect any issues. The first visit I was giving the Tylenol 3 and antibiotics. Even though I stated several times the Tylenol 3 is bad for me. They also offered several times to pull an infected tooth, which has never gone well for anyone. Once the swelling went down, 3 days later. I was in intense pain because the nerve was exposed. When I called and told them this they said come right in and we will pull the tooth. I said I was at work and would prefer we do it Saturday as planned. If they could give me something for the pain until then. They said no, come in or wait. So they are not listening to me, but I am in so much pain I take off work and go in. My husband is there. They pull the tooth. He starts to explain how the Tylenol 3 will be fine. I let him know once again, it doesn't work and gives me migraines. He says I didn't give it a chance. And just take it. I tell him that's not going to happen as I am in enough pain already. He's trying to explain why I am wrong about the Tylenol and I told him to stop talking as I am now having an anxiety attack. He says I'll be fine and continues to talk. I say I am not fine, stop talking. He doesn't. I yell shut the F up and get the F out of here now. And then begin to sob because I am in so much pain and emotional. They give me no medication and send me home. I apologize to everyone I see as I am leaving and let them know I had a bad anxiety attack. They say they understand. I call the next morning to see if they can call in the antibiotics and pain meds as it didn't happen the day before. They don't call back. At the end of the day I wrote out a form for the dental commission to look into this dentist as he was wrong and it was strange. It says I have to inform them. I send a text and get no response. The next day my husband calls and they tell him if I send the notice to the dental commission they will call the cops and charge me with assault. This sounds super weird and threatening. I may have just been in a lot of pain and freaked out. But I seriously think there's something wrong with the practice as well. They banned my whole family from coming back ever. Anyways, yeah, I Karened out a little, but am I in the wrong? AITA? Edit. Some people are asking about the codone. I am bad with names for drugs. Lortab works best, but the generic name is codone, I thought. But I informed the office and wrote in my paperwork about that. To be very clear and let them know I cannot handle pain and have bad anxiety. I felt I properly informed them of both and they said not to worry, they would take care of me. So they set an expectation. They refused to listen to me and kept telling me to take a pill that gives me migraines. No, I wasn't going to die if I didn't get a narcotic, and it really wasn't about the drug to me. It was about the fact they refused to even listen to me. It's my body and I know what works and what doesn't. I was extremely polite and nice up until that last moment when the dentist said I should just take the Tylenol and deal with the migraine. If that helps. Info. You say you want codone and can't tolerate, hate, oxy, but isn't codone another name for oxycodone? My spelling of the drug may be wrong? Are they not the same thing? You are the asshole. You don't seem to understand how a woman cursing and yelling at a dentist for codeine would look a bit suspicious. Question. You say you've had previous reactions to certain drugs, is that stated in your medical history? Also, did you specifically ask for codone or just anything but Tylenol 3? And why do you hate oxy? You are the asshole. Wow. Drug-seeking behavior much? Even if you weren't, those actions paint a different picture. Maybe act like a grown-up. Hold up. Why charge you with assault? Because of the argument with your husband? As a devil's advocate, the dentist could have thought you were drug shopping, but even then with that much work, that's a whole buttload of pain. Your dentist sounds troubled, though I think there's more to this picture. Soft ETA. Happy to edit with more info? What the hell? I think your best bet is to get one of those free consults with a reputable lawyer. Not seeing where the office would possibly have an assault case. Did you hit anyone? and this level of malpractice definitely needs to be reported. But legal advice seems called for here. Not the asshole, and good luck. I hope you are able to report these awful people. You are the asshole. As a medical professional, I would have immediately clocked you as a drug seeker. You're not entitled to the kind of pain meds that you want just because you like them. You freaked the hell out and are continuing to threaten this office. You are the asshole. You were yelling at a medical professional for codone. You also reacted in such an extreme manner the dental practice banned your entire family. Am I the asshole for not watching my sister while my parents are in Italy? So ever since I, 22M, graduated from college, I have had a serious struggle with independence and boundaries with my parents. More specifically my mother. I moved to the city that I grew up in because I received a fantastic job opportunity that I couldn't turn down coming straight out of school. My sister, 14F, was extremely excited cause that meant that she could be closer to her brother for a few more years. Unfortunately, this means that my parents feel entitled to frequent visits and regular meetings. I have my own apartment that is somewhat close to their house, which doesn't help my case. I often work 12-14-hour shifts and I can sometimes work nights with less than a day's notice. That alongside trying to kindle friendships and hobbies, I can be very stretched for time. Anyways, my mother just informed me that they will be going to Italy next summer, 2022, and that I have to help out with my sister. She tells me that I have to stay at their house for the 2 weeks that they are gone and I can just commute from there. My commute is already 45 minutes from my apartment and they are 15 minutes further away. That also doesn't take into account the fact that I will be on a different job by that time that will be even further away. So this would result in 1.5 hours with minimal traffic for my commute from their house. Having to wake up at 4:30 a.m. to not get home until 7:30 p.m. just doesn't sound like something I want to do. She states that they legally cannot leave my sister home alone for that long, but I have looked at the law in my state and it does not state anything about age restrictions on kids left alone. But even to that point, she will be 15, at the time of the trip. I might sound naive, but I feel like a 15-year-old does not need a full-time babysitter. I have told her that I am more than happy to help out and stop by the house and take her out occasionally, but that I cannot responsibly stay at their house for that long. Hell, I even said that I can stay the night on weekends or nights I don't have work. She then responds with, "Yes, you can. You can stay there, the house." She refuses to see the fact that I will be so far away for more than half the day. I have my job and responsibilities to tend to, and my girlfriend and I will be living together by then. Eventually just said that I'm unprofessional and immature and that they will find someone else because I'm too much of an inconvenience. I am more than happy to help and I am excited for them to be going on this trip, but being that far from work for so long does not make sense to me. I just find it disrespectful that she would demand that I do this, especially after booking the trip and not asking me before. Am I the asshole? And #X200B. Too long did not read. Parents going out of country and demand that I commute 1.5 hours each way to my job with extreme hours to babysit a 15-year-old for 2 weeks. Edit. For everyone saying that I could take her to my apartment, that's fair. However, they have 2 dogs and 2 cats that I'm assuming they won't pay to have boarded, but thanks for the support y'all. Not the asshole. Just say calmly, whether I can or not, and I do not believe I can, I will not. And I will not talk about this with you further. And if she continues, say, I told you I am not discussing this. No is a complete sentence, I have said no, and I am not changing my mind, then hang up or leave. I find it amusing, personally, that they called you unprofessional for wanting to ensure you do a good job at the work you were hired and paid to do, and immature for reinforcing the fact that you are an adult and no longer a child they can order to do something. Yeah, not the asshole. Your mother should hire a babysitter if she is that concerned of a 15-year-old. Not the asshole. Before booking a trip, you make sure that you'll have childcare and then, you book the trip. You don't have to do anything. Unless you sign a contract with them. Liability and all that. Welcome to adulthood. I bet they aren't planning on paying you, either. Heh, show them how wrong they are. Like, them asking you to keep an eye out for your sister once every few days? Sure, that's not that unreasonable. If you can do that, please do so. But you're not her parent, because the actual parents are just planning a trip to Italy without bringing their underage kid along. What the fuck kinda shit is that? That's horrible. Not the asshole, and I feel sorry for your sister. Skeptical smiley face. She can't make you drive over there and stay. Talk to your sister. Tell her to ask a friend if she can stay with them. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, your mom is delusional. You're an adult, she does not control you in any shape or form and she was being disrespectful. She needs to make her own arrangements. Not the asshole. They said that I'm unprofessional and immature. What part of you working your butt off and being a responsible adult is either of those things? Are you their hired nanny? Everything you offered, stopping by, staying on no work nights, was completely reasonable. It seems like they wanted you to be there full time, take time off from work. Offer to do it. At a high rate, more than your wages at the time, since it is also the cost of your vacation time. Then when they're like, WTF? You can be like, just being professional and mature. Closing parenthesis. Thoughts? If it's summer and no school, maybe she can stay at your house for the 2 weeks? Am I the asshole for telling my father-in-law it's his own fault my husband won't let him meet our son? My father-in-law, Phil, was an absent father to my husband, H. He married another woman when H was a kid, and had 4 kids that he's been around since day one. All 4 are constantly in and out of jail. H has tried to reconnect with Phil and his half-siblings several times, but it never ends well, so the last time he tried, he decided that was the last time he would try. We have not had contact with them in about 10 years. We do not live in the town they live in, but do have other friends and family we visit that do. H and I have a 2-year-old son, but we've never introduced them and have no plans to. Phil has reached out a couple of times since our son was born, but H ignored and blocked him, and asked me to do the same. Last weekend, we were visiting my brother, B. B is much younger than me and H, and B and I have always had a good relationship with our dad, so B really has no understanding of H's situation. He tries to be empathetic when the issue comes up, and never brings it up himself, but doesn't get it. B and I went to the store last weekend while H stayed at B's house to let our son nap. While B and I were at the store, my Phil saw and recognized me. He came up to me and was asking me to let him meet his grandson, and I told him I was sorry but that it was H's decision. Then he started asking, well, why wouldn't H let him meet his grandson, and I told him again that I was sorry but it really wasn't my place to say, and tried to walk away. Phil wouldn't stop though. He kept following me and B and asking me why and telling me to make H change his mind. I finally got fed up and told him that if he wanted to be an active part of his grandson's life, then he should have been an active part of his son's life. I told him it's H's decision to not involve him in our son's life, and that H's decision was final. That if he wanted a different outcome he should have been a better father to H. He got defensive and said that I had no right to say those things, that blood means everything, and that we should be grateful that he wants to be a positive influence in our son's life. I told him I didn't have to understand, I just had to respect H's wishes on the matter, and so did he. I also told him that I found it laughable that he would consider himself a potential positive influence for our son when his own 4 children have such trouble staying out of jail. Phil finally let B and I walk away after that, and B was really quiet the rest of the time we were in the store. When we got to the car, I asked B if everything was okay, and he said that I embarrassed him and that he's never seen me be so cruel to anyone. I hadn't thought I'd been cruel during the exchange, but B isn't one to toss words like that around. When we got home I told H everything, and H said he had no problem with anything I said, and B kind of let it drop after that but was still really quiet for the rest of our visit. I'm still bothered by B saying I was cruel, and I'm starting to think I might have been. Am I the asshole for saying those things to my Phil? Not the asshole, you reap what you sow. You didn't say anything needlessly cruel, simply stated the facts about why his son does not want him in his life. You did a great job handling that. Nah. Your brother is young, has good parents, and also not a parent himself, so I'd guess he doesn't really understand. Not the asshole, it's easy to say someone is cruel when they're not going through it. You tried to be nice and politely tell him no and he wouldn't budge, leaving you no choice. I think you were perfectly fine and he got off easy. I'm sure if he bumped into your husband instead it would have been an entirely different interaction. Not the asshole, the truth hurts. If you hadn't said what you had, your Phil would have probably carried on harassing you. Not the asshole, you said your brother is younger than you, but didn't say how old he is. Is it that he's been lucky and only seen a friend's positive parenting experiences and is naive, not mature enough to fully understand others' experiences? It sounds like you were quite restrained in the face of ongoing harassment. Not the asshole. Blood is everything? Really? I hate sayings like that. Blood is thicker than water, etc. It is used exclusively to justify toxic behavior. In a functioning family, sayings like that are not needed. Not the asshole, it wasn't cruelty, it was drawing a hard line of a boundary to someone who was trying to blur it. Phil kept pushing it, victimizing himself to gain your sympathy, but fortunate that you respect your husband and knew better than that. B, however, feels bad for him because from his perspective, this poor old man was denied his family. He doesn't know the cruelty and hurt he has caused your husband like you do. Otherwise he may not feel so sympathetic towards him. Not the asshole. Your brother does not understand the dynamics of your husband's and Phil's relationship, doesn't know the past history between them. All he saw was some guy pleading to see his grandson, and so from your brother's perspective it may have seemed cruel. Maybe in a few days, you and your brother can talk about it at some point.